Let's go and try this. Got jerk chicken over rice with some little avocados. Can't beat that. That's just good as hell. Try that, make that. We lit. Yo, what's good, E85 family? I know it's been a little minute, but we back with another video today. And today, we'll be making jerk chicken stew. So tap in and let me know how it is. Yeah. All right, now for this video, since it's jerk chicken stew, of course you're gonna need chicken. You can use your own preference of chicken. It don't matter, but you know, I use chicken breast, so got chicken breast. You're gonna need some carrots, green onion, green bell pepper, either jalapeno pepper, Serrano pepper, or habanero. I'm using the Serrano. You wanna get you a yellow and an orange peppers. And then for seasoning wise, adobo, salt, black pepper, oregano, and thyme and rosemary. You can get the leaves or you can get the seasonings. I'm using the seasonings, but yeah. So with that being said, let's get into the video. All right, and last but not least, you're gonna need some kind of jerk seasoning, jerk powder. I get this from my homegirl. I'm gonna put her link in the description down below, showing me to try it. So we're gonna try it together, and we're gonna put it in the comments, and if you like it, the link will be in the description. Go ahead and buy it from her. But I'm gonna see how it is too. So with that being said, let's get it. All right, so if you ain't new to the channel, you already know what we're gonna do. But if you new, before I always cook, if I'm using meat, I always clean it with white vinegar. So just go pour some white vinegar in your meat, and let's get it. All right, so now that I pour white vinegar into my meat, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse it. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse it with water, or fill it up with water, and let that sit for 5 minutes. Let's get it. And you know the deal. While we wait for that, while it's soaking, if you watch the videos, go ahead and get that shot. You know the deal already. Y'all probably like, oh, I thought he was done drinking. Nah, I was just taking a little minute. But yeah, cheers to y'all. Let's finish this good recipe. All right, so now that your chicken has soaked for 5 minutes, now I'm gonna go ahead and rinse it and drain it 3 times. I'm gonna show you how to do it right now. Let's get it. All right, so after your chicken is done being cleaned and rinsed, go ahead and lay it out to dry somewhere, and I'll get back to you with the next part. Let's get it, man. All right, so now that our chicken is dry and everything, we're gonna go ahead and cut it up. So go ahead and cut it through the middle if you're using chicken breast. Just like that. And I'll show y'all look when it's done. And if you're using the chicken wings, chicken legs with the bone or anything else, just go ahead and cut the skin off and then you good. Let's get it. All right, so if you chose to use chicken breast like I'm doing, when you're done cutting it up, do it like that. Little square pieces. Let's get on to the next part, the good part. Be out of here. All right, so for this next part, it's honestly fairly easy, but it just requires you having a blender. So if you have a blender, go and get your blender out. And also we're gonna use our green bell pepper, 2 garlic cloves, your half an onion, your black pepper, your salt, oregano, ground thyme, and rosemary. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, so it's also gonna require a half a cup of water. Let's get it. Cheers. All right, so at this time, I'm going to begin to cut up my onion and my green bell peppers so it don't be too harsh on the blender. I'll show you how it looks when it's done. Bet. All right, so before I show you how this look, you also want to save a half of your onion. You want to save a half of onion for the next part, for the next step later on, and you want to save some of your green bell pepper. Let's get it. All right, so once we get done cutting up our onions and green bell peppers, the blender should look like this, cut up. So I'm gonna be washing the blender. And now we're gonna go ahead and add the next following stuff. Add to 2 cloves of garlic. Add you some green onion. And now we go into the seasonings. I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of salt. I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of black pepper. Let's add 1 tablespoon of rosemary leaves, or add your rosemary leaf. I'm going to add a little less than a tablespoon of ground thyme. I have no measurements for the oregano leaves, but just add a little bit, don't add too much. Now let's go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of jerk seasoning to our marinade. Now we go ahead and add our water. Depending on how many onions and all that stuff you're using, you might have to add more water, so think about that as you go ahead. Now go ahead and blend that thing up. I'll show you how it looks when it's done. All right, so to make it easier, before I show you the marinade, go ahead and turn your stove. Go ahead and add 3 capfuls of oil to your stove, to your pot, and turn it on medium low. But this is how the marinade should look when it's done. Like that. Let's get on to the rest of the video. All right, so once again, for this part 2, I don't have no measurements for it. Just don't add too much, don't add too little. So I'm gonna go add some adobo to the chicken that I have here. Not too much, not too little. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and cut up the other vegetables that we have now, but first thing first, let's go ahead and add your Serrano or Habanero. For the Habanero, you don't have to cut it, but for Serrano, you go ahead and cut it up. Like, just cut it like the chunks like that, and go ahead and add that to your chicken. All right, so now we go ahead and add our marinade to our chicken. And go ahead and get your hands dirty. I'll show y'all look when it's done. Go ahead and mix it. I'll show y'all look when it's done. If you got some glasses, go ahead and put some glasses on first too, cause that shit will burn your eyes. But I'm gonna show y'all, get your hands dirty again, show y'all look when it's done. All right, so when it's done, it looks like that. You got a little color now, look good. Let's go and cut these vegetables up next. I'm gonna add this to the pot after we cut the vegetables. Let's get it. All right, y'all, so go ahead and get your carrot, your other half of your green bell pepper, your onions, some more green onions, and your yellow and orange bell peppers. And go ahead and cut those up into real small pieces and put them into one bowl, because we're gonna need it later. But I'll show you how it looks when it's done. We out. All right, so when you're done cutting up the carrots, it looks just like that. I'm gonna show you step by step. I'm gonna show you how everything looks when it's done. I'm done with everything else. You're gonna see. All right, so when you're done cutting your bell peppers, they should like that. I don't know if you can see it because they orange and yellow with the carrots, but yeah, that's how they should look. All right, so when you're done cutting up everything in the bowl, it should look like that. But the next part we're going on to, the part I've been waiting for, let's go add this jerk chicken to the pot. Let's get it. All right, so now your grease should be hot. So let's go and add the jerk chicken to the pot, and we're gonna let it stay in there until it browns. All right, so right after you add the chicken to the pot, go ahead and turn it from medium low up to medium, and give it a good mix. And I'll get back with y'all when it browns. Let's get it. All right, so now that the chicken is almost brown, I'm gonna go ahead and say cheers to y'all because we're almost done. And I'm gonna show y'all how it looks when it's done browning before we go on to the next step. Cheers. Let's get it. All right, so once the chicken is brown, it should look like this. So now let's go ahead and go on to the next step. All right, so for the next step, let's go ahead and add our vegetables. Then go ahead and mix it. Go ahead and give it a good mix it really well. Show y'all look when it's done. All right, so my grandma always said, trust the process. And that's how it should look when you're done Mixing it up. It look good, huh? But it ain't done yet. Let's go on to the next step. All right, so for the next step, let's go ahead and add a half a cup of water. Let's go ahead and mix. Show you how it look when it's done again. All right, so after you added your half cup of water, it should look like that. And the next step is the last step. So let's get it. For the last step, like I said, let's go ahead and cover this with the top and let it simmer for 20 minutes. And after that, we done. So show y'all when it's done. Cheers. All right, so for the last 5 minutes of your cooking time, go ahead and remove your top. Turn your stove down to medium low and let that cook that way so you can begin to make your jerk chicken gravy. So it won't be as juicy, it'll be more thicker. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's get it. All right, so now we're done. And it looks like this. So now we go ahead, turn the stove off and let it sit for 15 minutes and then you're good to eat. Let it sit for 15 minutes with the stove off. Nothing, not hot or nothing, and then we're good to eat. So I'll get back to y'all when it's fully done and you're gonna see me try it. So let's get it, we out of here. All right, so now that it's done, it's cooked, it's settled for 15 minutes. It should look just like that. And you see how I made its own gravy on the side right here? And that's exactly how you want it, just like that. So let's go ahead and try this thing. I'm ready. Let's get it.